everyone, my name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today to talk about Ripple, XRP, a little bit of market update, and what's going on out there in the big bad world of crypto. So to start out, if you guys wouldn't mind, do me a tiny little favor, like and subscribe, pretty please. It does help the channel grow. That is the goal, and for that I appreciate you. Ripple takes space in Miami. So this is, I believe, their 15th world location is in Miami, just over 6,000 square feet in Wynwood, which is Miami, the Miami market. Ripple, which develops payment protocols and currency exchanges for cryptocurrencies, closed a 6,500 square foot lease June 1st at the gateway at Wynwood. And there's the developer. This gives a little info about Miami. It really has become a cryptocurrency hub in the US over the last year or two. Just to show you how good Ripple is doing right now, while everybody else in the market is firing people, laying people off, cutting staff, closing down offices, really tightening their belts because I'm going to guess they weren't really efficiently run to begin with, and they didn't have any plans for when the market takes a significant downturn, which in crypto it does. So I'm not sure how you don't plan for that. Or maybe your plan is to just keep firing and hiring tons of people all the time. That doesn't seem very efficient. But anyway, so Coinbase, FTX, Crypto.com, these kind of companies are all slashing their payrolls and getting rid of people, which sucks, right? Ripple is out there. They are hiring and they are opening up more offices. This is how well prepared Ripple is. So let this be a lesson to you. Other crypto companies out there, take note of what Ripple's doing. Can't you try to be more like Ripple? I think you could. In other XRP and Ripple news, Ripple has partnered up with Fluff World, which is an open metaverse. And here is a picture of what it is. Obviously, fluffy bunnies and bears. I'm assuming that's what Fluff World means. They're actually described as a pioneer in 3D enabled, content-rich NFT collection type metaverse. And here they are here. This is Fluff World, right? They've got a lot of NFT collections, and this is not a review video on Fluff World. I just wanted to let you know they are inking deals even as this market sucks. Also, here is VerseX Metaverse. This is another virtual reality and mixed reality metaverse running on the XRP ledger, right? This is big news. These things are happening almost every day. They're inking new partnerships, acquiring new companies and new offices. I am going to do a review video on VerseX just by itself and Fluff World. So be ready for that. Both look like fantastic projects. May take a dip in both of those. VerseX does say their gameplay trailer is coming out in 22 days, 12 hours. So that'll be cool to see. So I'm waiting for that one. And one last thing I want to say about XRP and Ripple. And I've had questions when I talk to people about XRP and the company Ripple, and they're, not really big supporters of them in the crypto world. And I ask why. And one of the main issues that people have is that Ripple owns nearly half of all of the supply of XRP, right? Which is huge. It's something like 60 billion or something like that. But anyway, so the obvious concern is, well, what if they just start dumping the token and tank the price? You're right. Obviously, they have the ability to do that since they hold so much of it. And my reaction is that's a good question, right? That's something to be concerned about. But you have to dig a little deeper here and you ask yourself a question. Why would they do that? Number one, why would they try to destroy their own project and the vehicle that is used for liquidity for tons of businesses around the world? This is their core business. They do not have any direct control over the nodes or the ledger itself. Ripple, they just hold a bunch of it because they created it to begin with. XRP actually existed before the company Ripple was founded. You've got to understand that they aren't going to do something that is going to be bad for their own use case. So this was brought to my attention when I asked the question also, like, hey, so what stops them from just dumping and doing things that are just bad for their brand? And here's the answer. So the nodes that are out there and why it's decentralized is that there are, let's say a couple of hundred of nodes out there that are running the XRPL. Ripple only controls 4 of them. So if they have 4 nodes out of a couple of hundred, so they can't do anything. All they can do is vote And that's it. They don't get any veto power. There's no overarching control because they're the ones who came up with it. So if they have 4 votes on that, that gives them very little power. And actually, there was an incident, I believe a year ago, where they came up with a change that they wanted to implement on the blockchain, on the XRPL. And they put it forth to the nodes for a vote, and they were voted down. Everybody said, no, we don't like that. You have to get 80% of all of the nodes to agree in order to affect any change within the system. And they didn't get 80% in agreement, so they were shot down and told, no, we're not going to do whatever it is you want to do or make whatever changes you want to make. Yeah, I'm sure it bums them out a little bit. They're like, hey, guys, we're the ones who came up with this whole thing, right? But they don't control it. This shows you that they can't control it. But what can happen is all of the other voting power in the nodes can get together and they can say, hey, Ripple over here, it looks like they're doing something that's damaging the brand. They're selling tokens. We need to figure out how to stop that. So they can actually get together and vote to stop Ripple from selling, right? Because Ripple's XRP is on the blockchain. So they can actually, with 80% in agreement, they can take over Ripple's XRP, right? Think about that for a second. And it seems crazy. You think, well, wait, it's decentralized. You shouldn't be able to do anything like that. Well, it's decentralized, but it's also a democracy, right? And it's kind of the best of both worlds where you can't just because you have a node and you have some XRP, you can't just go out there and just damage things because the rest of the community is not going to allow it. And that's what could happen in this case. There is a case now for Solana and Solend, which was one of their lending platforms. They voted to take charge of a whale who held a ton of Solana because they were worried about him or her dumping the token and really damaging the product. So they all voted and agreed that, yep, we're going to take control over that whale wallet and we're going to start liquidating it. Obviously not just taking money from the whale, but giving it back to them in a different form, and therefore neutralizing the issue. They haven't ultimately done that yet. They were really waiting for the price to drop to a certain level before they kind of enacted some sort of emergency powers. But all of the voting nodes, they all have to agree to these things. Or I know in Ripple's case, it's 80%. I'm not exactly sure on Solana how much it has to be. Maybe it's 80%. Maybe it's higher. But that just shows you that the community of these tokens can get together and they can vote and decide on where these things go, right? What's going to happen next, what changes can be made, which direction they're moving. And if there's any bad actors out there, they can take action and stop them. So that's just to give you some sort of assurance that they're not going to just tank the project. Number one, they wouldn't do that. Why would they do that to themselves? And number two, the nodes can take over and actually take control of those 60 billion and liquidate them or burn them or do whatever. I mean, that would be obviously a very serious situation if they decided just to burn all of that supply. I'm sure that's not a real world situation right now that we're worried about, but that goes to show there's an answer for it. You just have to dig a little bit to find out. I just wanted to throw that out there. If you had questions or concerns about why you do or don't like certain things, all you got to do is dig a little deeper. If you have questions for me about XRP or Ripple or the lawsuit, just throw them down in the comments and I'll get to you. And if enough of you have the same questions, I'll do a video on it and get you those answers that you need and clarify things for you a little bit further. Having said all that, there isn't any activity on the SEC Ripple lawsuit. We're still waiting Judge Sarah Netburn to make a decision on the attorney-client privilege claim that the SEC is applying to these emails that Ripple's trying to get. We think that they're going to get shot down, that SEC is going to lose this one again, but we never know. We don't know what's going to happen, right? So we sit and wait. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative for you. If you got any questions, just let me know. You guys have a great night.